Welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be taking a look at the 12 worst selling SUVs in America right now. Number 12, Chevrolet Equinox. The Chevrolet Equinox is struggling to keep up in the 2025 SUV market. Despite being one of Chevrolet's most recognizable names, it's also become one of the worst selling SUVs in America. According to recent sales data, fewer than 35,000 units have been sold in the first half of the year, a massive drop from its peak in earlier years when it routinely moved over 250,000 units annually. The 2025 Equinox starts at around $27,000, which puts it squarely in competition with more modern and better-equipped rivals. Yet it's not just the price that's turning buyers away. The biggest red flag is its long-term reliability. While many compact SUVs are known to easily reach the 200,000-mile mark with routine care, the Equinox has developed a reputation for running into issues as early as 100,000 miles. Owners frequently report engine issues, transmission problems, and electrical gremlins well before the SUV has lived a full life. J.D. Power and Consumer Reports have both rated the Equinox below average in predicted reliability, and its resale value is among the worst in its class. Warranty coverage is also no standout. Basic protection runs out after 36,000 miles or 3 years, leaving owners exposed to expensive repairs down the line. With better and more reliable options now available from nearly every competing brand, it's no surprise that the Equinox is being left behind in the dust. Number 11, Volkswagen Taos. The Volkswagen Taos has quickly slipped into the ranks of the worst-selling SUVs in America in 2025. Despite a flashy debut a few years ago and the promise of German engineering in a compact package, the Taos has seen sales numbers tumble. This year, it has barely managed to cross 22,000 units sold nationwide, a stark contrast to its competitors that often exceed 100,000 units in the same category. Priced at around $24,000 for the base model, the Taos appears affordable on paper, but the ownership experience tells a different story. Its track record for long-term durability is underwhelming, with several owners reporting problems as early as 60,000 to 80,000 miles. Common complaints include turbocharger failures, electronic system glitches, and even premature engine wear, all of which lead to repair bills that can easily cross 4 figures, well before most would expect such issues. Volkswagen's limited powertrain warranty of 4 years or 50,000 miles isn't enough to build confidence in a vehicle that has already raised so many mechanical concerns. Consumer satisfaction ratings have dipped as well, especially in areas like maintenance costs and overall dependability. While it might look sleek and promise European flair, the Taos fails to live up to expectations where it matters most: lasting performance and ownership peace of mind. Number 10, Jeep Compass. The Jeep Compass has become one of the biggest underperformers in the American SUV market in 2025. Once marketed as a rugged yet affordable entry into the Jeep family, the Compass has fallen far behind its rivals. Sales have plummeted to just over 28,000 units in the first half of the year, a drastic drop considering compact SUVs remain one of the most competitive and high-demand segments in the country. Starting at around $28,000, the Compass doesn't offer much that justifies its price tag. One of its most glaring issues is long-term dependability. Owners often report issues by the time the odometer crosses 80,000 miles, with recurring problems in engine performance, drivetrain durability, and electrical systems. Several reliability studies have placed the Compass near the bottom of the compact SUV segment, and that reputation is sticking. What's more troubling for potential buyers is the SUV's resale value. The Compass can lose up to 50% of its original value in just 3 years. That kind of depreciation, combined with the high likelihood of costly repairs post-warranty, makes it an increasingly hard sell. Even Jeep's basic 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty feels too short for a vehicle that shows signs of wear early on. Despite Jeep's strong brand name and history in off-road capability, the Compass struggles to carry that legacy into the daily driver world. For most American buyers, There are far more reliable and durable options at the same price point or even less. Number 9. Audi Q5. The Audi Q5 may carry a premium badge, but in 2025 it's turning into one of the least desirable luxury SUVs on the American market. While it once stood tall in sales charts, current figures have dropped below 30,000 units sold so far this year, a sharp decline for a model that used to dominate its segment. Buyers are beginning to realize that the Q5's price tag of nearly $44,000 doesn't guarantee long-term satisfaction. One of the major concerns is its long-term reliability. Owners report repeated issues after 70,000 miles, particularly related to the turbocharged engine, sensors, and dual-clutch transmission. Maintenance and repair costs are steep, with even minor issues often racking up bills over $1,000. Audi's 4-year, 50,000-mile warranty might cover the early years, but it's the ownership beyond that point where problems start compounding. Even worse, the Q5's resale value has taken a hit recently. Within just 3 years, it can lose over 40% of its original value, and this depreciation rate is growing faster than rival models from Lexus and Acura, which have earned stronger reputations for longevity. Despite its stylish design and tech-filled cabin, American buyers are starting to look past the surface and evaluate real-world ownership experience. Number 8. BMW X2. The BMW X2 has failed to resonate with American buyers in 2025, landing itself among the worst-selling SUVs of the year. With fewer than 18,000 units sold nationwide so far, the X2 is a far cry from what one would expect of a luxury brand that typically performs well in the premium crossover segment. Starting at around $38,000, the X2 is proving to be more style than substance and not built to last. While it might win some praise for its sharp design and urban-friendly size, long-term ownership tells a different story. The X2 starts showing wear far earlier than its rivals, with many owners reporting issues just after 60,000 miles. From oil leaks to faulty electronics and transmission-related complaints, the cost of maintaining an X2 quickly adds up. Repairs can easily run over $1,500 per visit, and that's before more serious engine or drivetrain problems emerge. BMW's limited warranty of 4 years or 50,000 miles does little to reassure long-term buyers, especially when the vehicle's reliability starts declining just outside of that coverage window. As for resale value, it's one of the weakest in the BMW lineup. In just 3 years, the X2 can lose more than 45% of its original value, making it a poor investment for those who plan to keep it or sell it down the line. With competition offering longer-lasting, more affordable, and better-built alternatives, the X2's sales struggle makes sense. Number 7. Infiniti QX55. The Infiniti QX55 has become one of the most disappointing performers in the luxury SUV space in 2025. After a lackluster launch and an equally uninspiring sales run, it has struggled to move more than 12,000 units across the United States this year. At a starting price of around $49,000, buyers expected more in terms of durability and long-term value, but the QX55 simply doesn't deliver. One of the most glaring issues is longevity. While many luxury SUVs in its price range easily push past 200,000 miles with proper maintenance, the QX55 often begins showing signs of strain before hitting 100,000 miles. Frequent reports of transmission problems, especially with its CVT, along with electrical faults and failing infotainment systems, have severely damaged its reputation for reliability. For a vehicle that costs nearly $50,000, that's a serious letdown. The QX55 also depreciates at an alarming rate. Within 3 years, it can lose over 50% of its original value, putting it among the worst in its class for resale. That kind of drop is painful for buyers expecting the stability that typically comes with luxury nameplates. Infiniti's 4-year, 60,000-mile warranty looks decent on paper, but does little to offset ownership costs once problems start cropping up just outside of coverage. While Infiniti hoped the QX55 would bring a sleek, coupe-like design to their SUV lineup, it's clear that American buyers are prioritizing lasting quality and proven performance. Number 6. Lincoln Navigator. The Lincoln Navigator, once a symbol of American luxury, is now rapidly losing ground in 2025. Despite its bold styling and upscale image, this full-size SUV has become one of the worst-selling models in its segment, with just under 19,000 units sold this year across the country. With a starting price of around $81,000, buyers are expecting long-lasting value, but that's where the Navigator starts to crumble. Long-term durability is a major issue. While full-size SUVs are typically known for going well beyond 200,000 miles with proper care, the Navigator has been plagued by reliability concerns well before hitting that mark. Owners report persistent problems with the adaptive suspension, electrical systems, and turbocharged engine components after just 70,000 to 90,000 miles. These aren't small repairs. Fixes can easily cost several $1,000s, especially once the factory warranty expires. Add to that a massive depreciation rate, often over 40% within 3 years, and it's no wonder many buyers are turning to more reliable alternatives like the Lexus LX or even large SUVs from mainstream brands. The Navigator may look impressive on the outside and promise a luxurious ride, but those qualities mean little if the ownership experience doesn't hold up. In today's market, reliability sells, and the Navigator simply isn't delivering. Number 5. Hyundai Santa Fe. The Hyundai Santa Fe, once considered a smart midsize SUV choice, is now slipping in the 2025 American market. With sales falling below 30,000 units so far this year, the Santa Fe is facing a reality check. It's no longer the bargain it used to be, and its reputation for long-term reliability is taking a hit. At a starting price of around $33,000, it's competing in a very crowded segment and losing ground quickly. One of the biggest issues with the Santa Fe is how it performs over time. While earlier models built Hyundai's image as a dependable brand, the newer versions are showing a different story. Many owners report engine failures, faulty fuel pumps, and transmission issues before hitting 100,000 miles. This has led to multiple recalls in past years and lingering concerns among prospective buyers. Even with Hyundai's strong 5-year, 60,000-mile warranty, the problems often start appearing just after major systems are out of warranty coverage. The cost of repairs adds up quickly, especially once out of warranty. It's not uncommon for owners to face bills in the range of $1,500 to $2,000 for common issues that shouldn't occur so early in the vehicle's life. And depreciation is another weak point. The Santa Fe tends to lose over 40% of its value in 3 years, making it a less than stable option for long-term ownership or resale. With strong rivals offering better durability, fewer mechanical issues, and stronger resale value, the Santa Fe is getting pushed aside. Number 4. Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. The Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross has quietly become one of the least compelling SUVs on the American market in 2025. With annual sales struggling to break 10,000 units this year, it's clear that U.S. buyers are turning away from this model in large numbers. Even at a modest starting price of around $25,000, the Eclipse Cross is having a hard time justifying its presence in a highly competitive segment. Longevity is a major weak point. While many compact crossovers easily last past 200,000 miles with basic upkeep, the Eclipse Cross begins showing signs of trouble far earlier. Numerous owners report issues like failing CVT transmissions, engine stalling, and electrical faults by the time they reach 80,000 miles. Although Mitsubishi offers a long 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, it doesn't always cover the wide range of recurring problems that plague this SUV outside of the drivetrain. Even with that long warranty, the real-world repair costs can be surprisingly steep. Routine maintenance becomes costly due to limited dealership availability, and when major repairs hit, parts can be harder to source than those for more mainstream brands. Depreciation doesn't help either. After 3 years, the Eclipse Cross typically loses over 50% of its original value, making it a risky investment for buyers thinking long-term. What's perhaps most telling is that even Mitsubishi's own customer base is starting to avoid the Eclipse Cross in favor of older Outlander models or competitors altogether. Number 3. Nissan Murano. The Nissan Murano is quickly becoming irrelevant in the American SUV market in 2025. Once a staple in the midsize crossover space, it's now one of the worst-selling SUVs in the country, with sales barely reaching 21,000 units this year. Even with a starting price around $37,000, the Murano has failed to attract buyers who are looking for longevity and value in a segment full of better options. The biggest issue haunting the Murano is how poorly it holds up over time. While many SUVs in its class can easily reach 200,000 miles with minimal issues, the Murano begins to break down well before that. Owners commonly report transmission failures, especially with the aging CVT system, along with repeated sensor malfunctions and premature suspension wear sometimes before the 90,000-mile mark. These are costly problems, and once they start, they rarely stop. Nissan's 3-year, 36,000-mile basic warranty feels especially short when paired with the Murano's track record. After warranty expiration, repair bills can easily top $2,000, and that's just for keeping it roadworthy, not for upgrades or convenience repairs. To make things worse, the Murano depreciates at an alarming rate. Within just 3 years, it can lose up to 52% of its original value, one of the worst resale performances in its segment. Despite a sleek exterior and a quiet ride, the Murano simply doesn't offer the durability or value that American buyers expect from a midsize SUV in the $30,000 to $40,000 range. Number 2. Buick Encore. The Buick Encore is nearing the end of its run in 2025, and the numbers say it all. With fewer than 9,000 units sold so far this year in the United States, it's one of the worst-performing SUVs in the entire subcompact segment. Even with a relatively low starting price of around $24,000, the Encore is struggling to stay relevant in a market where durability and value mean everything. Its biggest weakness is longevity. Many owners report serious issues by the time they hit 70,000 to 90,000 miles, far earlier than expected for a daily driver. Turbocharger failures, engine oil leaks, and recurring electronic problems have made long-term ownership a gamble. While the Encore was once praised for being a city-friendly SUV, that praise has long faded as reliability ratings have consistently dropped year after year. The warranty coverage, 3 years or 36,000 miles basic, is average at best and does little to protect owners once the problems start rolling in. Repair costs add up fast, especially for engine and electrical work. Common fixes can easily cost over $1,000, which is a painful pill to swallow for a budget-minded buyer. In today's SUV market, buyers want something that can go the distance without draining their bank accounts. Unfortunately, the Encore offers neither. Number 1. Chevrolet Blazer. The Chevrolet Blazer, despite its bold styling and aggressive marketing, has become one of the worst-selling midsize SUVs in America in 2025. Once seen as a potential rival to Ford and Jeep, the Blazer has stumbled hard, with U.S. sales barely crossing 17,000 units so far this year. Priced from around $36,000, the Blazer's lack of long-term durability and underwhelming value are driving buyers away faster than ever. When it comes to lasting power, the Blazer falls short. Owners frequently report issues with the engine cooling system, faulty sensors, and transmission slipping before reaching even 90,000 miles. These aren't isolated incidents. Multiple reliability studies have shown a consistent pattern of breakdowns in key components well before the SUV hits the 100,000-mile mark. Warranty coverage is standard, 3 years or 36,000 miles, but feels inadequate considering how early the problems tend to begin. Once out of warranty, the repair costs stack up quickly. Replacing electronic modules or fixing transmission components can easily run into the thousands, making the Blazer an expensive vehicle to keep on the road. In a market where buyers expect a midsize SUV to last, deliver value, and minimize headaches, the Blazer checks none of those boxes. And with this, we have reached the end of this video. Make sure to like it and subscribe the channel for future upcoming videos.